it's your girl Giselle here again with another video, another food video, and I just wanted to show you again yet another time what we are doing. And so you can look over here, come over here. I am going to be making a coconut bake, not fried, that will be going in the oven, and I'm going to be doing a callaloo with the dashing bush and all different types of spinach and greens. Like people say, I'm going back to the ital, I'm going back to the vegetarian. This is going to be a no meat recipe. And just a disclaimer, I want to say that I am not claiming that this is the original way that it is being done in the islands, whether it be in Trinidad or in Jamaica or in St. Lucia. This, I'm giving it my own personal twist. This is Giselle's recipe. So just stick with me and I'm going to show you exactly what I do and just the additional ingredients I add to my version of callaloo dashing bush greens. Okay, so just stick with me and I will show you. Right now, I'm about to do the dough for the coconut bake. Here, I'm going to tell you the measurements. I have in this bowl 8 cups of flour, 8 cups of flour and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. When I do bake, I usually do half and half, not half and half, but I mix baking powder with the yeast. I don't do just full on yeast, but I usually do some baking powder and some yeast. And I use 2 tablespoons of yeast. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of yeast, and this is 8 cups of flour. So now usually when you work with this is not instant yeast, this is just a normal yeast, and now I have poured it in a little bit of warm water, lukewarm water, not too hot, because you want to try to activate the yeast. So that's what I have done here, and so I'm just going to stir this and add it in my flour. All the dry ingredients, you use all your dry ingredients, you incorporate it nicely, you mix it so that everything is nicely incorporated. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in right now the coconut. I'm doing coconut bakes, so I'm using natural fresh coconut. I shredded it, and this is about 2.5 cups of shredded coconut, and I'm going to add it into my dry ingredients here. Okay, I'm also going to add 1 cup of unsalted melted butter. Okay, I'm going to add that in the mixture right here. I am now going to incorporate the yeast that I showed you previously. And you could use any coconut milk of your choice, but this is what I'm using, and it is actually 1.5 cups of coconut milk, just for extra flavor, because I really want to taste the coconut flavor in this bake. So instead of just using regular water, I am personally using some coconut milk, and I did warm the coconut milk. Okay, so everything is in here, and now I am going to mix this, and I'm going to knead it, and I'm going to allow this I'm going to just mix it here for now, and let me see if I need any extra fluids in here, and I will let you know what amount of liquid I'm going to add. Right now it doesn't appear to need any additional liquid, so I will let you know in a bit. Okay friends, I have kneaded the flour, and I actually did not need any additional water. The ingredients I mentioned previously with the coconut milk, the water from the yeast, the melted butter, the coconut, the shredded coconut. I did add about, I would say, how much cups? I would say I added like about 1/4 cup of water when I was shredding the coconut. So all of those things had some liquid, which amounted to not needing any extra water in this recipe. Okay, then I'm going to allow this dough to rest for at least 45 minutes. I'm going to cover it with a tea towel and allow it to rest so that it rises. Okay, right about now I'm going to be doing my callaloo, the dashing bush, and don't come for me, it's already washed, it's already chopped, but I left one of the leaves of the dashing bush, and I want to tell you exactly how I cleaned it, just so that you have an idea of what I did. Okay, so this is what I used. I did not only use just dashing leaves. If you're not familiar, this is what it looks like. Okay, and so for you to be able to cook this down, you actually need to take a knife and you need to peel off this skin. There is this skin on it that you need to peel off. Okay, when you clean your dashing bush, this is one of the things you have to do. Okay, you cannot just take the dashing leaves and just use it as it is. Even along the vines of the leaves, you need to take a knife and you need to clean it. You need to because it has this covering on it that you need to clean to make sure that you don't get this when you complete the dish. Okay, so I've already done this. I'm gonna set this aside, and I've already done this here. I've already washed, chopped. It's a lot. I didn't only just use the dashing leaves, but I used and incorporated some Jamaican callaloo in here. Also some spinach. So there's actually 3 greenery going on in here. I'm going to incorporate some additional ingredients that is not usually found in callaloo, but like I said, this is just my way. This is my twist of doing it. So I have also peeled an eggplant. I washed it, diced it. So this is also going to go into this whole callaloo system. This is also like 1 large tomato. It's not usually seen in a callaloo, but this is what I like to do. I think it's a twist between the African way of doing the green callaloo and stuff and the Caribbean way. So I've kind of incorporated the two into something that I actually like for myself. So this is I would say 1 large tomato and just a half of another one. I just shredded in this puree. This is half cup of parsley, half cup of green onions. This is another half cup of peppers, a very strong seasoning pepper that is, and this is an entire cup of diced onions. This is I would say about 10 cloves of garlic, 10 small cloves of garlic. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So come over here where I have a pot that is already heated on the stove. Please use a big pot because as you could see I had lots of greenery there, and I need to use a big enough pot that is going to accommodate all of it. Okay, so now I'm going to add some oil. I'm going to add some oil in there. First I'm going to go in with my garlic. I don't want my garlic to burn, so I'm going to actually do it first. Not too much of high heat. Okay, so now I'm sauteing my garlic. Sorry. I'm sauteing my garlic and 30 seconds before, and I'm going to incorporate the onions now. And I'm going to bring up my heat. Okay, so previously I had my heat on a low 2, just because I did not want the garlic to burn when I put it in. So now I have increased the heat to about a medium 6, and I'm going to continue to saute the onion and the garlic together. I'm also going to add in the pepper that I showed you previously. I'm going to add it, and I don't know about you, but I love the smell of sauteed onion and garlic. Just smells amazing. So I'm going to allow this to saute until it's translucent. The onions is sauteed enough and it's translucent. That is telling me that it's ready for me to add any additional ingredients. So stay tuned, and I'm going to be right back as I show you how I continue this dish. Okay, here I am again, and my onions and garlic peppers is sauteed, and it's right now translucent color. It's perfect time for me to add in. I'm going to go in and adding the eggplants that I told you before that is already washed and diced. I'm going to add this in right now, and I'm going to allow it to saute for a few more minutes. I want this to get a little soft, not entirely soft, but I really want it to kind of cook up before I actually incorporate any of my dashing bush, because dashing bush cooks down fairly quickly, and so I am going to give this in. Right about now, you could add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add in some black pepper, a little bit of salt. I would say a dash of salt, okay? Not too much salt. You season as you go along. I'm just going to add in a little bit of salt there, and And I'm going to allow this to sit. Now it looks like it has absorbed most of the oil, so I'm going to add in just a tiny bit of olive oil to this. Not too much, but just to allow it to be able to saute. I'm going to add in just a little bit of olive oil, and I'll be right back to show you the next steps in this dish. Okay, so right about now I've allowed this to saute for about 3 minutes, and I'm going to now add in some of that tomato I spoke about previously. I'm going to add this in just to help the eggplant to become a little softer, because sometimes the eggplant really absorbs the oil, and so I'm going to add this right about now to helping the eggplant to stay. Okay, so I'm going to add this in here now. I'm going to allow it to sit, and this is really going to help to get the eggplant to the place where I want it to be. So I'm going to allow this to sit again for 5 minutes, and I'm going to be right back as I continue. Okay, and this is what it's looking like right about now. This is exactly where I want it to be. It's not fully mushed or softened, but it's exactly how I want it to be. And so now, right about now, I'm going to add in some of the chives I had talked previously. I didn't want to put it way right in the beginning because I don't want it to get lost in the flavors. I want to put it fresh. And this is about half cup of green onions, and this is about the same half cup of parsley. I'm going to put this in too. And right about now, everybody has their own preference with their seasoning. I'm not sure what seasonings you guys use at home, but I'm using this seasoning powder. I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon. And this is really meant for you to season as you go along, okay? Sometimes I don't want to give you an exact amount. Maybe to you it's a little too much salt, or especially for persons who don't eat too much salt. So I would say I am personally using 1 tablespoon right here of this seasoning. You could choose to use less, you could choose to use more, but it's solely according to your preference, okay? So this is what I'm using, and whatever seasonings you have at home, you could choose to use whatever else you have, but this is what I'm using right now. I'm going to add in all the gravy in here, okay? Before I said you would want to use a big pot, because while this will cook down, but in the initial stages, it will take up a lot of space. So I would advise you use the size of the pot. Like I said, I usually cook a lot because I like to cook. Sometimes I meal prep, sometimes I use it maybe 2 days during the week, because I don't want to be in front of a stove cooking every day of the week. So I don't just cook for 1 day. And so, like I said before, you could break down the recipe, and you could use either less or even more, whatever you're doing. Just use your discretion and season it. Okay, so this is a lot of gravy. It is a lot of gravy. So I am now, since I have already incorporated everything, or incorporated the onions and everything I wanted to, now I'm going to allow this to kind of cook down a bit, and I'm going to come back and show you how I finish this up and what it's going to eventually look like. I have separated this dough, and now I have cleaned out my surface. Make sure you're working with clean hands and clean surface. So right about now, this is the dough. We made a very, very good dough, and I personally like a lot of coconut, so it's very coarse. So every bite you are going to actually bite in to get into that coconut. So I'm now going to use a rolling pin. I'm going to flour the rolling pin, and I'm also going to spread some flour on my working surface so that the dough doesn't stick. Okay, and I'm going to be able to do what I need to do with it. That's it. There we go. So all you need to do, you need to, your dough was previously in a ball, so now you are going to just use the rolling pin to make a round flat dough, because I'm going to put this dough on this here to bake in the oven. And I have actually set my oven to 350 degrees. It's already warmed up, so when I'm ready to put the dough in, it's just going to do what it has to do. Okay, so like I said, you just get the rolling pin and you go on rolling your dough so that it fits whatever dish that you're using. Okay, stretch the dough, stretch it, continue to roll out your dough. Don't be scared to get in there and really apply some pressure to that dough. So I am going to continue this, and I'm going to, one of the other things I need to say, you make sure that you oil your dish, or you add some unsalted butter so that the dough doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, here we are again, and here is it so far. It has cooked down, and this is what it's looking like. Now let me tell you the reason I have chosen to add in and incorporated some additional ingredients, because personally I like coarse callaloo. The dashing bush, I don't like it to be runny. I like when I pick it up with the bake, it actually has substance. It's coarse, it's able to, you know, it's not runny. So hence the reason why I added some additional. Normally I would also add in some squash, but today I just used the eggplant, which is perfect. But this is what it is looking like. It smells amazing in here. It literally smells amazing, and this is so healthy for you. So if you are a vegetarian and you're trying to kind of give the meat a break for now, and you want to really try out this, usually with the dashing bush I would actually I would have put some coconut milk in there, but because I'm eating a coconut bake, I just felt the need. That's why I incorporated the tomato in there. And so I am pairing the coconut bake with this, and this is going to taste amazing. Okay, however, for persons who cannot just do the vegetarian option, there are days I would actually add in some fish, or I would add in a canned tuna fish, or some fish in there, or some whatever you want to add. I know some people, they would add in some crab legs, but I don't eat crab, I don't eat any shellfish, and so of course I wouldn't add this in here. But tonight, like I said, I am going strictly vegetarian style, because personally I want to give the chicken a break. I would normally put some like I probably could have put in some codfish in here, but unfortunately my niece don't eat fish. She doesn't eat fish, and so I want to consider her, of course, when I'm cooking. So I have decided to omit this. If I want, I could you could fry some fish or steam some fish on the side of this, and then you could eat it. There, your meat is on the side, and then you could do this. But this is looking so good. It's coarse. It smells amazing. And right about now, if you really want to add some of your extra seasoning in there, you could go ahead. And like I said to you before, right when I'm about to finish cooking, I always like to add in some extra garlic so that, you know, it elevates the flavor of my food. And so I'm going to do that right now, because this is actually done. I am going to leave this here for maybe about an additional 2 minutes, but I consider this done, ready to go, ready to be plated and to eat. And yeah, so please give it a try, and if you have any comments or anything you think that would actually I could add in there to make it even better, you could do so. But for now, with the ingredients that I have available to me, this is what I came up with. So this is my version of my callaloo, and I've already placed my coconut bake inside the oven, and Katie is salivating right now because she's hungry. But this is it, and it is good, it's healthy for you. So yeah, please give it a try. See you soon. Okay, so friends of mine, this is actually the finished product. It is ready to be served and ready to eat. This is, like I said, my version of a callaloo. It consists of spinach, Jamaican callaloo, dashing bush, and this is my coconut, my flat bread coconut bakes that was done in the oven. Very healthy, and a lot of persons does They usually put Scotch bonnet, but I like to put mine on the side. I like to use Baron hot sauce, and so this is it. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, leave a comment. That is a kind comment, and see you in my other video. Hope you enjoy.
Bye guys.
Here's my goofy niece and my camera specialist. Please give her a thumbs up for a great job.